Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So today's tarot card reading is for Brie, and Brie just wants a general overall tarot card reading. Didn't really leave me any question or anything like that. So normally when that's the case, I just try to give kind of an overview, like a general tarot card reading. And I really like giving these kind of tarot card readings, especially like when I'm in the blind and I don't really know anything about the person or anything like that, because it kind of is just sort of like it's a mystery. And it's just like reading a novel or something, picking up a novel and reading it where you don't really have a lot of information about the novel or what's really inside. And so it's sort of this mystery that can kind of unravel itself. And that's what I like a lot. And I get to a lot of things intuitively and psychically when I do these type of readings for people. Things that may otherwise not come if it's too directed might come out of the woodwork. And then if the person wants to do another reading, like in a more specific area, that's always a possibility also. So the way I like to do these is I like to do a 7-card reading where we go into the past, the present, and the future. In both the past and the present, I'm calibrated to about 3 months in either direction. So I can 3 months in the past, 3 months in the future. And then from the energy of the card or what I'm picking up, I can kind of give you a more precise, pinpointed time frame in terms of when something would happen or that kind of thing. The next thing I like to do is just really look at the whatever the present situation is and kind of what the energy is around that. Give us some more insight about the present moment. I also like to look at where the querent is. Now, the querent is the person that's actually getting the tarot card reading, and that's the person asking the question or the person getting the general reading. And in this case, it's Brie. So kind of find out where Brie is at, kind of like her thinking or, those kind of things going on. Her attitude about situations in her life, that kind of thing. And then I like to then look at really what the outcome is, what's the necessary components. And then from the necessary components, I like to really look at what the answer to getting that outcome, a positive outcome is. So that way we can give people some kind of a spiritual advice, spiritual direction, that kind of thing along the course of the actual overall tarot card reading. Let's get started. So the first card is the past card. And the past card in all this, when you look at this, sometimes people call this the thief in the night. This is the person is kind of leaving behind the village or leaving behind the circus or leaving behind whatever it is that they're involved in, kind of sneaking off, taking what they can, what resources they can with them. Maybe there's some conflict and stuff behind them. Swords represent conflict a lot of times. So maybe there's a little bit of conflict and maybe they're harboring or taking some of their baggage with them as they move on into a different direction and all. But oftentimes for me personally, when I see this card, it's really about just like, moving out in one's own direction. It's like stepping outside of the status quo of what everybody else has going on around them or what the community is saying or what society is telling, saying we should be doing or should be following. It's kind of like going it alone is a good way of putting it. And that's kind of the way that I perceive this. So in the past, it's kind of like maybe you decided to kind of go out on your own path, kind of, venture off into your own direction. And so that was probably something that was more kind of where you kind of had to leave some things behind, kind of not share your business with everyone, but kind of go off alone, kind of do it like that. It's also a spiritually insightful card, this card, because we have the 7 here. 7 in numerology is really about the spirit, really about, sometimes it's our nature. It's like what's within us to really, we feel compelled spiritually that we need to do something or we need to go off in this other direction, that kind of thing. That was the past. And so picking up, relatively about 5 months back, maybe somewhere in that ballpark, that this all started kind of coming about to kind of bring us to the present moment where we're at now. And that's the Page of Pentacles. Pages of Pentacles, pages are messengers. The messengers in the court cards are the pages. Pages are usually younger people, maybe teenage or even a little bit young, a little bit older. It could be in your 20s or something like that. It could be a younger person, like a child or something that's coming and relaying a message or something to us. But this is a message about money or about groundedness or about direction or focus or something that's kind of like, it's really that 8 energy or that Capricorn energy, that kind of that grounded where we need to be focusing on career or need to be focusing in on the work that we're doing or the way that we make money or whatever it is that we've got going on. And that's what's going on in the moment. Is sort of like, that's where our focus needs to be at. And that's what the message is that we're getting. Now, As far as the present goes, I said I'm calibrated about 3 months out. We're seeing this about 6 months out, that this is sort of that's what I'm sort of picking up here. We have, this is the 10 of Pentacles. So we had that money that was kind of that new money, or kind of that focusing in on the money to get started in that direction in terms of like a career, or job, or financial, these kind of things. This is sort of like where, in about 6 months from now, whatever efforts that we're putting in right now up until that 6 month mark and stuff is going to really pay off, because when you get to this place and all, it's sort of like, whatever our focus was at that time, it's going to start to come to an end, but at the same time, we'll have become very successful in that endeavorment. So this is one of those rare kind of situations where a person maybe, just put it in perspective, maybe you're out there doing something, or you start a new job or something like that, and then just unexpectedly, you just get blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing, until one day, you just, you're in such a good situation that you're not even relying on that job anymore, but you can actually tell other people, well, hey, this is what I did. Oftentimes we see this with innovators, that this is sort of the case. Like, it could be someone that starts a company, like a tech company, for example, and all. And so they get rounds of investors that help them out to get this thing off the ground. And in a very, very short period of time, just miraculously, almost as though it just, through luck or fate or something like that, some positive things came about, and now this person is in an ultra wealthy state, and they're able to they're never turning back, they're never going backwards, and that they've made it. And that's what this card is really all about. And so six months or so is about 6, 7, 8 months. That's kind of where this is coming at, but I'm really feeling closer to about 6 months out with this, guys. So that's kind of all positive so far. So it's kind of like, by stepping out on your own, by kind of focusing your efforts financially and everything like that in this present moment, getting things planned out, figuring out what you need to do, getting this message, something is going to come to you, an idea, something is going to present itself. And when it does, you need to act on it, because in a very short period of time, say 6 months out, you're going to be in a good situation, a really good situation, to the point where you'll be sharing your story with other people to try to encourage and help them. Now, let's continue on with this current card of this Page of Pentacles. What's it really all about? Going back to the first card that we got, that was that, what was it, the Seven of Pentacles? The Seven of Swords? Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Well, in this card, we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is like, we're taking what we've got, whatever rough situation we were in, or less than ideal situation we were in, we're moving toward those calmer waters. And that's what this is really all about. So it's about just getting a handle on our thoughts. For one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who has failed to do so, the mind will be the greatest enemy. In this, it's about conquering that mind, taking those ideas, those thoughts with us as we venture off into a new direction and all. And that's really kind of, we see that progression happening from the Seven of Swords into the Page of Pentacles. And this is also kind of just, we still have what we have. We're taking our resources, our thoughts, our ideas, things that can bring us great abundance later on, taking all that with us. And that's what's going on right now to get us where we need to be. What is your thinking? Where's your attitude at about all of this that we're talking about? It's this card right here. So this is the Eight of Wands. 8 is really about that grounded energy. We talked about that Capricorn energy a little bit ago. We see that really happening with all these pentacles here. That's all that Capricorn energy, that groundedness, that materialism, that financial abundance, all these kind of things. We see that happening here. But that's just one aspect of this card. The other aspect is, because these are the wands, this is really about action. And that's really where your mind is at. Like, what do I need to be doing? What can I get done? Do. Get this done, get this done, get this done. I need to act. And you're in a good place. So this is swift decision-making and swift action. When this card comes up, it's really like we're in the mode of like making this thing happen, not looking back, not procrastinating, but just taking full-on action. And that's what's going to get you successful. Great card to have. Now, at the end of the day, where does everything amount to? Where do we come out at? Well, the outcome to all of this is the High Priestess card. And the High Priestess card's an amazing card. She doesn't say a lot. She kind of whispers, in fact, and she kind of tells us, hey, guys, trust yourself. Trust your intuition. She's very intuitive. She's probably one of the most psychic characters that we have in the Major Arcana. We have the moon there. It's very hypnotizing. We have sort of that mysteriousness that goes on with it. Doesn't say a lot. Like a lot of people that are kind of mysterious, they don't really relay a lot of information, but what they do say speaks volumes, and it really has an impact on us. And in this case, she's saying, trust yourself, trust your intuition, follow that. It will steer you in the right direction. Make sure you do. And then what is the key to being able to follow your intuition, to being able to do that and to understand and to have this thing carry itself out? It's the strength card. And strength really, with this, it's really about internal strength. It's less about external, but it's just about trusting your own self and looking at things like no matter what rough things come about, you have the power inside of you to be able to conquer it. And look at how this angel here, she's got her halo is actually the infinity sign. Infinity sign a lot of times is about just, eternal values, but it's also about like eternal relationships, eternal emotions, thoughts, all these kind of things. Eternal principles is the best way to look at it. But by taking these eternal principles and things that just have worked time and time again, been time tested, time approved, and they just work out over and over and over again, you'll be able to be very strong in your mindset and trusting your intuition. And as you do that, you'll take massive action, and then you'll start to achieve great things, and very many positive things will come about for you. And but just have a little bit of strength, and that's it. Strength is not really about physical strength in this case. It's really about just having control of your own mind. So do that, and many blessings and things will befall you. This is one of the better tarot card readings I've done for people in a long time, especially when it comes to like sort of wealth and different things. And who would have known when we started this tarot card reading what was really going to come out? So what am I really picking up? I'm picking up that you're a very driven person, and that this thing is going to really start to either that, or you're so frustrated with things in the past that you're taking the reins in your own hands, and you're taking massive action. You're getting out there and making things happen for yourself. And you're going to be very, very, very successful, probably more successful than a lot of people that you've known in your life. So we saw that one card come up. What was it? 10 of Pentacles. And so that's sort of like almost like the charity card, in the sense of like you're having to, share your journey with others in order to encourage and motivate and inspire them. You could even be a public speaker or motivator at some point in life, just because you'll have gotten yourself to a position of success that warrants being able to do that legitimately. But legitimacy is definitely yours, and everything else is going to come about very positively and in a really positive direction for you, Brie. Much love, many blessings to you. As your tarot coach, I'm always here for you. Please reach out to me if you need anything. Most of you guys that watch this channel know that I'm a monk. I live off of donations, and so if you guys would like to donate, you can. Just go to helpbydonating.com. It helps with the basic maintenance, and it also helps with just being able to provide this service and other services to others. Helps the monks out. So anyways, if you like, please like this channel. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification when we come on. If you have questions while we're doing these live streams, you can ask those questions. We'll be happy to answer them. And just be a part of the community and spread some goodwill and love for God to others. Much love, many blessings. See you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge.